Hi, everyone, and welcome to Nourishing Your Multidimensional Body Homeyer. And today I am here with Peter Schenk. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Cathy, how are you?
Good. So just a couple announcements before we chat with Peter about something that I'm always intrigued about, which is light paths, and he's got a workshop coming up. This Thursday, I've been invited to Academy of the Soul to do an interview there, so I'm hoping you guys can come on over and support my talk at 2 o'clock on Thursday, this coming Thursday, December 13th. So I'm excited about that. I haven't done one for a while. So that'll be a lot of fun over on Academy of the Soul. And what else? A lot of good shows coming up. And then Christy and I are going to do, we'll be announcing a separate show shortly that we're going to do on our own page. So look out for that. And welcome, Peter. Nice to see you again.
Hey, Cathy, it's good to be back. It's been a little while.
Yeah, so Peter had actually visited my lodge when we were doing a small retreat, so he knows what it's like here at the lodge. You got snow now, Peter, so I'm sure you're not happy about that, but
Yeah, that when I was there in October last year, I witnessed some of the most impressive sunsets I've ever seen over the lake. They were very nice.
Yeah, and speaking of that, if anybody wants to, let me put that website up. Right now, you can actually see the snow if you go to lodgeonlakeclear.com and scroll down. There's a video on the top, but if you scroll down on the web page, we have a live webcam. So if you kind of look at that especially on Saturdays, later afternoon, you might even see the sleigh and the horses going by because they come on Saturdays. So the live webcam is there for the moment, and you can see all the snow in the beautiful lake with St. Regis Mountain. So, okay.
And that Florida-like weather, right?
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful though in the wintertime. Just gotta put your little boots and scarf on, and you're fine. So, Peter, light path. A lot of you here on the Akashic Academy know Peter Schenk. He's been on with Christy many times as well, and a couple times with me. Peter, why don't you explain a little bit about what you do? You have products. The one I love and interviewed you first on probably a couple years ago now is Aquaware. I just love working with water. I love the Aquaware program to program Intense into water and have my infused waters. That's probably my favorite. There's also Source, which kind of very simply maybe bypasses the water, so you do your intent directly into Source. And then different products that lately, since I've known you, have come to fruition. The Terra Resonator and all the sizes of the Terra Resonator. So why don't you give us just a background for folks that don't know who you are?
So, I mean, my experience happened really kind of at the speed of thought back in the summer of 2004. I woke up. I perceived everything very differently. And that led to the creation of products and services, that of which are written about in science fiction books. And for 15 years, I have cultivated and developed software that modifies your reality through water as the catalyst. And the products that you mentioned, Aquaware, which was really my flagship software product, to the Source, which takes the Achilles heel out of traditional manifestation, to the 12th project, which is all about chakras, the light body, which is about body tuning, and of course Navitus, which is all about high energy and completely free. So the software, was integrated with workshops that I've done over the years, one-on-one sessions. And then about 3 years ago, I really decided to up the game and enter into the physical product world. And that's where things took a massive shift in my reality. And I've been in this creative stream unlike anything I've ever experienced, even beyond the software, to bring just an amazing array of products that you have never seen before. and what they do and how they deliver them. I've acquired almost 1,000 to date, almost 1,000 written and video testimonials on my website. So just think about that for a second. That's a staggering number of people's lives that were touched in some way directly through products and services that I offer, and has rocked them so deeply to take the time out to do a video or write a testimonial about it. I mean, that speaks volumes for why I'm here and what I'm doing. So you've heard me talk about life paths in two references, one in traditional manifestation, and the second one having to do with the Source 5 technology, which is software. And I've existed so long after my wake-up experience, down the rabbit hole, kind of like on the edge of this consciousness grid, to really understand how things happen on the other side, and to bring to bear those informational portals and those concepts and the viable products and solutions to help people. So we talk about traditional manifestation, right? And from everything that I've learned and what everyone preaches out there, just in some new spin or product or whatever, it's really pretty simple. You think of a product in your head, you release it, it goes out into the universe comes by and picks it up and brings it upstream in your reality. And the time by which you release it from your head and the universe has it and starts creating those energetic pathways, the point between point A and point B is called the pathway. And at any time during that pathway, if you have doubt or worry, that thought form is destroyed and you have to start over. That's traditional manifestation. It fails in 99.999% of the people. Why? Because we're human. We have doubt, we have worry. It's like, where is it? How come I haven't gotten it? They don't want to do the work to bring it into fruition, whatever. So the Source technology was developed in 2009 and commercially released in 2010, and has undergone 5 generations of revisions to heighten technology. And when I talk about the light paths within the Source technology, I've taken the traditional Achilles heel out of manifesting and shielded on what we call light paths, okay? So there's 2 forms of light paths in the Source 5 technology. There is the light path that gets created, but it happens 2 ways. So in traditional manifestation, the light path starts from your conscious mind, moves upstream to the universe creating those energetic pathways to bring it into fruition. And then there is the pathways in the Source 5 technology. And we took the Achilles heel out. So basically you are impressing the light frequencies of that which you desire into water. You drink the water comes into the body, instantly starts coming out of the body on what we call light paths. They're energetic rays that carry the form of that which you desire out. And that's where the universe comes by and picks it up and brings it upstream in your reality. Now, the reason we've taken the Achilles heel out of it is because we are not directly communicating with the universe on what we want. We have it coming out in a different energetic form. There is no doubt or worry that you can have that would possibly interrupt that you want to bring into fruition. So those are the light paths, and the light path is the point by which it comes out of the body and it's delivered. So, you've heard me really talk about that quite a bit, but even in conjunction with the light paths is creating the experience around that which you want to bring in desire. And I've used this example many, many times. You are driving down the road and you think of a red Ferrari, abstractly, just whatever, and then your thoughts move on to something else, and 30 seconds later, a red Ferrari drives by. That is unconscious manifestation. Happens to us all the time, okay? Happens to us all the time. It's a synchronicity. It's a deja vu. It's a blip in the matrix. It happens hundreds of times a day. And only on a few of those occasions, you may or may not be aware of it, right? So conscious manifestation is easy to understand in theory, but it's incredibly hard in practical application. And that is to consciously pull something into fruition that you desire. And to do that, you have to have absolute clarity around what you want. But more importantly, if you don't know what you want, then nothing in existence is going to help you get it, because the universe sure as hell ain't going to deliver something to you that's imperfect. And the only way that it can be perfect is if you have clear mental, construct in your head of what you want. And to do that, you also have to immerse yourself in the experience of getting what you want. And that's where the Source 5 really accelerates that, because what we've done is we've given you the 9 symbols of creation. And they're just beautiful pieces of artwork that float on the screen around the central. And you create this, you immerse yourself in the experience of what you want. So if what you want is a red Ferrari, then you just move the symbols around until it feels like the red Ferrari. And that is helping bring something into fruition, because you are immersing yourself more and more in the experience of bringing that which you desire in, and only in the experience and knowing what you want. And by knowing what you want, by the way, is immersing yourself in the experience. That compiled with the light rays and the way the technology works, the Source 5 has been masterful in helping people manifest things in their life. So, we fast forward that the Source 5 was released in the fall of 2016. So this current iteration has been on the market for a couple of years, and it's just been doing amazing things. As a lot of you know, and I've kind of taken a front seat with physical product creation, and I've also made a public announcement that there will be an Aquaware 6 on the horizon for possibly 2019. There will also be a Source 6 coming right hot on the heels of that. I don't have a time frame. So all of this kind of tied into, and you have to remember something, right? When you are really on the cutting edge of product and service development in the metaphysical field, you are given the understanding and what you need to get done, whatever your job is, to get it done only when that time is right. So for instance, we developed the software line for manifestation, which is the Source 5, and then last year, the thought form of creating the Terra Resonator line came into fruition. And from an idea in my head on December, I think it's 1 year to the day that I had the idea in my head to create the Terra Resonator line, that we had 4 of these monsters in the world just doing crazy things, helping people manifest. And that was another perfect example of when you acquire knowledge and the skill set to do something, that is earned. It's not given freely. You have to earn it. People are always like, Pete, well, how do I exist in the higher octaves? How do I get there? I say it's simple. You start with an act of kindness. You're given a bit of information. What you do and how you act on that information determines if you move to another octave. And only in the experience of moving to a higher octave, you truly understand what it means to have unconditional love of self and spread more love and vibration in the world. Hopefully that's where it's at. So that kind of brings us full circle to earlier in the year. So, I wanted to, in January last year, I was given access to a new way of delivering an energetic service, and that came out in the April-May timeframe. That was called a core cleanse, right? Because for years and years and years, I was helping people in regular sessions, moving them from a life stuck in shit and fear into a very loving life. I was given access to people's cores to up that game. And a person's core is, the center of creation, is the center of everything. And in that core was born another idea once that was launched. And that was to create, and this is how the process works, and this was very important. was to create another energetic service to attract abundance to people. Okay, and this leads into the receiving. And, so what I decided to do was, I wanted to, like a lot of things I do, I wanted to pilot this program with, maybe 5 people and take them under my wing and really work out the mechanics of how this would work. So what did I do? Well, like any good businessman, I sent an email out saying, hey, we got this new service coming out and we'd like to pilot it on a few people. That was the most brilliant mistake I've ever made. And what happened based on that email completely altered the trajectory of what was to come. And what I received within 12 hours was some of the most heartfelt, horrifying messages I had ever read about people just, so remember, my thought was about creating abundance for people. And what came out of those emails, which continued, by the way, for another 5 weeks, was one, I couldn't pilot a program because in 12 hours I had shut it down and I had already picked 5 people, but the emails didn't stop. They kept coming. And what I learned from those emails was people had given all of themselves. They had nothing left to give. They were so beat up and just continuing to give and give and give and give that they had nothing left to give. And then it hit me. I was like, oh my God, this isn't about creating abundance in people's lives. This was about teaching people how to receive. And what was born from this was 2 absolutely amazing things. One, 3 workshops, the third of which I'll get into, which is coming in a couple weeks. But a receiving workshop was born, okay? But the second one that I had, the second issue that needed to be tackled was how to deliver this workshop as an affordable medium for people, but yet allow the giving and receiving cycle to work for me, where I'm just not giving something away for free and then it just holds no value because I needed to receive. And what was born, and again, this is all beautiful, synchronized, completely planned out by the universe. And what happened was I switched my entire business model from, okay, we're charging $1,000 a workshop, $300 a workshop, whatever, to a donation-based workshop, okay, which allowed me to make it worth my while to produce these particular workshops because I'm now receiving, but also to give. And it also allowed people that have never ever before been able to afford workshops that I do the ability to participate as a donation-based workshop in the receiving workshops. So, I had no idea we were doing. First of all, I had no idea this was going to be a workshop, and it turned out to be a receiving workshop. And, we went through that first workshop, and I thought that was the end of it, but it wasn't. I was given information to now not only take the receiving frequency, but for the first time, I would be able to split people's energetic bodies from their physical bodies and then instill the frequency for receiving in the second workshop. And during the second workshop, as I'm producing this thing and doing it live, I'm like, man, there can't be any more beyond this. That's it. This has got to be the absolute end of it. And what happened was, because I brought something into fruition, because I was creating forward momentum, because I was immersing myself in the experience, because ultimately I was fucking creating change in people's lives, and that's what I'm here to do. At the very end of that workshop, I was given the key to number 3. And it came out in the workshop in the form that you've taken. And we talked about the TV screen. And then it was like, oh my God. Now my understanding in real time went to a whole nother level. And that was because we live in a reality that we create. And I already know all of this because this is what I've been doing for almost 2 decades, that there is another version of ourselves, okay, it's really important, that already knows how to receive. And all we're going to do is superimpose that reality in workshop number 3 over hours to completely seal that deal. And in, at the end of the second workshop, when that TV screen, as I was walking people through this and putting them like Humpty Dumpty, putting their shattered energetic fields back together, because that's what we were doing, was recreating Humpty Dumpty. In real time, this computer screen opens up in front of all of us, and it's like, and that's when the idea was born, because of all that forward motion. So the receiving workshop 3, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the last one in this genre, will be about, bringing over that perfect you that exists just in another, reality outside ours, that is as perpetually receiving. And, as they say, the rest will be history at that point.
Mm-hmm. So, Peter, if as you've been talking, I've been writing notes and popping them on the screen, and everybody's saying hello and thanks for the info, thanks for the knowledge base, all sorts of things have been popping up, and then writing little notes that Aquaware and Source are really software programs that you can purchase. They're not a physical product; they're a software program. So I've just been writing notes on what those were. So, question with the receiving workshop 3, what if you didn't get to do 1 and 2?
Well, the short answer is you don't. Obviously, you can skip right to number 3. What you need to be aware of is the intensity that I deliver. Okay, so those that were in version 2 took version 1. That's why they signed up for version 2. So version 1 was very intense. Version 2 was extremely intense. Version 3 is going to be mind altering. And they're donation-based workshops, so you can just donate for what you feel you want. But I would suggest highly that if you haven't taken, we're building on steps, right? I'm prepping you, I'm opening you up, I'm changing your energetic patterns to receiving, and that's what it's all about. Now, in receiving workshop 3, we're going to repeat little parts of 1 and 2 as a reminder for those that have already participated or partaken in them. But you do what you feel you want to do, but in my opinion and experience, I would highly recommend that you take versions 1 and 2 before you attempt 3. 3 is, so you have to remember something too. Because I'm constantly in forward motion, right? I myself am constantly evolving. Even through helping people, I'm constantly evolving. And what I bring to bear gets stronger year by year by year. So workshops that I'm doing this year are way more productive and powerful than last year and last year and last year. So, if you're just coming on board and you're jumping in on number 3 and you're not used to the work that I do, that could be probably inherently counterproductive to you based on, a detox factor, which you're probably going to get. So my recommendation is you take your time, you go through 1 and 2. Still got a couple of weeks before we go live, number 3. But yeah, I would recommend taking them, but you don't have to.
Yeah. So those on your website then, Peter?
They are. They're under the workshop section.
Okay. So I just put up your website, moderndaymystic.com, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So I just put up your website as well. So that's where you can find those. And when Karen Khan did a retreat here in September, and we mentioned that a lot. Christy was here. Christy and I got to meet, and I didn't get to do a whole lot because I was running the retreat and taking care of things. But the one time I went over there, they were just doing a giving and receiving simple compliment, and it was hard. You had to pick a partner and let them give you a compliment. And that was such a mind blower because people can't even receive compliments sometimes, something as simple as a compliment. So, I think everybody kind of relates to the receiving part.
They do. I never saw it. And for me to admit that I've never seen something which is the foundation, of what I do, it was hard for me to, kind of swallow that bit of pride and accept what people were telling me. Because here I am, I'm thinking everything's all pansies and flowers and whatever, and all of a sudden I'm getting several dozen emails of just people that are choked up. They're just describing these conditions that were just mind blowing to me that I never knew. And I declared a statement not only to them but to the universe, and I said, your hopes, aspirations, and prayers will not go unanswered. And that's why, for me to change my business model to a donation based is crazy and goes against everything that my accountant and everybody else would tell me. But you know what? I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has worked out exactly how I knew it would work out. But, and it's worked out amazing, and it's been great. And, the numbers have swelled by 500% live of the people that are jumping on these workshops because, they've all downloaded the free ones and seen how mind blowing they are. And those are just really the cream of the crop compared to these. And then, so anyways, long story short, I learned a lot this year. 2018 has been an amazing expansion for me on a physical level, huge physical level, on a mental level, totally on a spiritual level. And I just had this conversation. I said, I don't know where any of this is going. I'm just having fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing my part and moving forward. I have a goal in mind. I don't know. I don't care about the path on how I obtain the goal, but I'm sure enjoying the voyage to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been an amazing wild ride. Even when we met
years ago when you and I had a session, I don't even remember what I had asked about. And I just remember waking up the next morning, partly almost waking up the next morning, and just seeing, or it was a dream or something, just seeing tons of presents as far as I could see, like wrapped presents. And it was like after the session, I just knew there was things that were going to be opened up, and it was a limitless vision. And it was just the neatest thing. So I just wanted to mention that. I think I might have told you before or not, I don't know. But that was one of the things that I remember that vision right there of those. They were all white wrapped with a red ribbon, but they were just endless down the horizon. So that was a really neat thing that okay, these are going to be opening up. So that was just really cool. So
it's, even from when I physically met you up at your lovely retreat in October of last year, just the explosion that's happened in, 13, 14 months and what I've been able to deliver, and then, we're in the holiday season and we just released some mind-blowing offers to people in terms of, 3 holiday offers on the MDM site. And, I've got 2 product launches confirmed. One, which I am co-creating with Christine Warnick on an amazing project, which is going to be delivered in the January timeframe. We've been very tight-lipped about that, but she must be more disciplined because I would have blabbed all about it. We have another HFA product coming, the HFA Orion coming, which is it's going to be sick. So anyway, it's and if you look at just this year as a whole, we had the 4 pieces in the Terra Resonator line. We had the 13 IM bracelet to launch. We had the Somnam Machina launch. We've had the 3 receiving workshops, or 2 and 1 coming. We had the Harmonic Field Amplifier version 2, A New Way to Travel. This year has just been nonstop. It's been and when I talk to people about it, I always tell them, I said, I'm just getting warmed up.
Well, that's really cool. Yeah, there's Christy saying hello. So yeah, so we're just about out of time, but you want to tell us when your next workshop is, and I'll put your website up again so they can find that as well.
So the receiving workshop version 3 will be Tuesday, December 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you sign up for it and you donate, you don't have to attend it live. There'll be a recording that gets sent out after the fact. And this will be the third version of that workshop. And this one will be, really over the top. But beyond this particular workshop, I'm pretty much just taking the month off and kind of hanging low. It's been a really long, grueling year.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad I got to say happy holidays to you, Peter, and all the best over there. We were just your way the other day in Massachusetts, so I waved. But yeah, so happy holidays to everybody on your end. And thanks everybody for chiming in and saying hello. The websites are there. You can contact Peter through there. Yeah, Christy says, such an honor to work with Peter. And there you are, Christy. I see this Be Live has changed its format here. Okay, so thanks everybody. If you have questions, put it in the chat box. I'll try and answer that later or refer them if I need to. So thank you so much. There's another one Dan is saying, is there an invite page? Yeah, just go to the website there, Dan. I think you'll find what you need. If not, just put that in the comments and I'll try and help out, okay? Peter, thank you so much for chiming in, letting us know all about everything you do.
Thanks, Cathy. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Talk with you later. I think you're coming up on Christy's show shortly, right? Here on the Akashic Academy?
Tuesday, I think, yep.
Tuesday. Okay, so look for Peter again on Christy's show on Tuesday and all the great shows coming up on the Akashic Academy. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.